All right, good morning, everybody. Hello, Joseph. Give me just a second. I need to blow my nose because I felt like I was going to sneeze, but give me just a second here. I thought I muted that. I apologize in advance. I am so sorry about that. Oops. I thought I hit the mute button. Hello, Joseph. Welcome, everybody, to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I apologize about not doing the trains this morning. We'll talk a little bit. Let me get it in the air first, and then we'll go from there. So, anyway, hopefully everybody's doing well. Joseph, are you still here? Are you still in the chat? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Oh, no. Okay, there you are. All right, fine. All right, let's get in here, get the plane started up, and get in the air, and we'll get on our tour. So, yeah, last night, so basically I confirmed with the British Ace. I will be joining him in a multiplayer flight on Tuesday. Don't know where yet, but that's the plan. So I was testing out the F-14. Now, the autopilot stuff, it's a bit of a handful to learn. Why did it change? But I was able to get a handle on it, and so there we go. I think that should work. There we go. Perfect. So I was able to get it to work, and wait a minute. I thought I don't have the live weather. Why is it? There we go. We'll just leave it clear skies. So it just took a lot of practice, unfortunately. And that next thing I knew, it was late. So, yeah. Not the throttle. Where's the... I practiced in this one. Okay, there's the mixture. Let's get that all the way in. We gotta get our magneto on. And our see, now this thing, it's kind of weird because the way this, there we go. Parking brakes on. See, it's all like pull stuff, and you gotta. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna pull the starter here. There we are. So, all right. Oh, what's the fire truck doing here? You don't have a fire? Wow. Okay. 2 fire trucks. All right, let's ask for our taxi.
Bankstown ground, Froggy 237 with Charlie, request taxi for takeoff departing straight out. Froggy 237 taxi to and hold short of runway 29er center using taxiway Mike Alpha Alpha 8 cross runway 29er right Alpha 8. Contact tower on 1 tree 2 decimal 8 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 29er center using taxiway Mike Alpha Alpha 8 cross runway 29er right Alpha 8 Froggy 237.
I don't know, Joseph. That's a good question. All right. Let's go here. Let's get some flap down. Get the way, guys. So you want to get eaten up by the prop. One thing I noticed with this plane, it's very shifty when it comes to making turns when taxiing. Look, it's very wobbly, but we'll make it work. So anyway, yeah. So I got so involved with practicing with the F-14 last night. Next thing I knew, it was darn near midnight, and I was like, oh man, you know, the time just went, and I should have been in bed like an hour and a half prior, you know, so that I'm well rested for the trains and all that this morning. And I just like, I guess I'm gonna have to sacrifice the trains. So yeah, we'll be back in the trains next Sunday. So yeah, I had a little bit of a lie-in just to relax for a bit and all that. So yeah. So we're going to take off and we're going to head. I got a marker over the. It should be behind us. Once we take off, we'll see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So we're going to take off and we're going to come out. We're going to make a long right-hander and then head for that. So we're going to pass over the cricket grounds first there near Sydney Harbour, and then we'll fly around Sydney Harbour for a bit, and then we'll ask for clearance there at the bigger airport, come in for a landing, and we'll wrap this thing up. So hopefully everybody enjoys it. Yeah, you know, and I've been getting up early. You know, and I'm used to getting up early. It's just that you know, after a while, sometimes it's like I think I just need to take a little break. And so, yeah, it all worked out. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge learning the whole system, and it's really it's nuts. But I think I got it down pretty reasonably well. So hopefully it's going to be a good flight on Tuesday with Joe, and I will be live streaming that video as well. 5 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. UK time. So as soon as I join up with him and we'll get in the air, have a nice flight and all that good stuff, and then we'll. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Parking brake on, and I thought I probably didn't.
Bankstown Tower Froggy 237 ready for straight out departure at runway 29er center. Froggy 237 altimeter 29er.9er 2 wind 257 at tree. Departing straight out, approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 29er center.
This thing has got a mind of its own.
Takeoff runway 29er center, Froggy 237.
Very strange. Okay. It's like it can't make up its mind which way it wants me to go. Alright. So we are all set. We got all our lights on. Should be pretty much it. Yep. Alright, let's go. I was up early today. My mom's alarm clock went off. See, I usually set alarm clock just on the off chance that I don't wake up, you know, early, and you know, if I fall back asleep, and then it's like I still got to have enough time to. All right, let's get in the air here. A little too much on there. Don't need that much trim. That should be good. Yeah, nice steady climb. There we are. We're on our way. Turn our landing lights off. And our... Oh, we need the nav lights on. Oops. And there we are. There's our little plane. So we're going to fly this tomorrow again. Good morning, Mick. When we do the Valentine's Day special tomorrow morning. And then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and turn this way. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to Tuesday's flight. And I did kind of tinker around in the F-15 as well, just to see. Now, they do have an autopilot system, and it is a bit more, in some ways, complex than the F-14 system is. And so I was trying to see if that was a better option, and it was clearly not the better option. It's just too odd. There's no way to dial in like your initial altitude, like if you're doing an IFR flight in the F-15. It won't. There's no way to dial in that initial, climb and maintain 10,000 feet or whatever. So, yeah, bit strange, but yeah. But I think it's going to be a great flight on Tuesday. So do join us for that. Whether you're going to watch Joe or me or both of us at the same time, Joseph, I know you will be. So yeah. Now, the one thing I noticed about this plane, I think this plane was built in the 1950s when it first came out. And what I noticed is that it's very simplistic. And I think probably this is why it's sold so well. Now check this out too. It does have like a little PDF or tablet thing here, but it's not very bright. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It's not very bright at all. But anyway, we're not going to really need that today. What was I going to say? One of the things... Oh, yeah, so I think that's why this plane probably sold very well, is that look at this unconventional steering yoke. It almost seems like some kind of a steering wheel that you would find in a fancy sports car or something. But it's really neat that how they have this. And so I think, it's like you're driving the family car when you're flying this. It's got all this nice trim in here, and this nice seats, and, the back seat and everything, a little room for some luggage and all that. But, yeah, it's like driving the family car, essentially. And so, yeah, I'm just hoping it should be a good flight tomorrow as well. We'll be over Rome, going to Naples. Should be a nice little flight with that, and then we'll call it a day. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, and then Tuesday I'll do the flight with Joe, and then we'll see how the rest of the week plays out. I know Friday we've got Chris's flight from Liverpool to Rome, so we're visiting Rome twice this week. It's okay. Try to get this thing to settle down just a little bit, because this is about the perfect altitude right here. But I don't want it to start. See how it starts to nose over, and I just want to get it. All right, Joseph, need to go shop and get a newspaper for my thing. Okay, that's fine. Do what you got to do, man. We got a lot of flying still ahead of us here. We haven't even begun to tour the harbor, so we still got a little bit to go to get to the cricket grounds here.
Login 237 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved. Bankstown Tower Froggy 237 frequency change. Approach Froggy 237 is type 5 miles east of Bankstown 1,800 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Froggy 237 approach. Squawk 433-2.
Squawk 433-2. Frosty 237.
Yeah, it was some unfortunate races you guys had last, especially you, Mick. You, I don't know, that was some. You were just having some really bad luck last night. I think almost everybody was, except for Pulse and sometimes Glenn. You and Chris seemed to get the brunt of the abuse from the AI last night. So, yeah, it was unfortunate. But you had some good races as well. There was a couple that you won that you kind of came from the middle there and made your way to the front and got there at the end, the last lap. Yeah, it was very strange. All right. We'll have a look at their cricket ground here in Sydney after we saw the one there in Melbourne. See if this one measures up. Now the other thing too is you can't open these doors. I was kind of messing around in here the other day. The doors do open, the window opens here. I'm guessing that's a little, it's probably a little cigarette ashtray right there. I'm guessing. Kind of a warning. You get a little, like a little beeping sound or something. Oh, probably because we're flying right in front of the Kingsford Smith International. Yeah, that's one of the things that it used to be that they did. Like, you know, the older ones, you know, if you wanted to, you know, if you were to push somebody off the track, it was going to cause them damage, and if you were lucky, you didn't get much of anything except maybe a scrape of paint off your side pod or something. But yeah, it seems that they want the AI to win the races more than they want you to win, and you know. Of course, it feels better when you do win the race because you're like, oh, finally I beat those assholes, for lack of a better term. Hello, Amela. And, yeah, it's just, but it's frustrating because you're like, you think you're racing cleanly, you know, and you were, and it's just like, no matter what you did, they would find you and run you off. It's like, yeah, it was like you had a target. You and Chris both had a target on your cars yesterday. It was just nuts. So yeah, I completely understand that when you were just like, I'm done, you know. I can completely understand that. But yeah, you did have some good races though. There was a few that were really top notch. Wow, you got the cricket ground right next to the football stadium. Look at this. That looks nice. Never been to a cricket match. I'd like to go just once to say that I've been. Look at that. Well, actually, you can see that where the batter and the pitcher, or the bowler stand, the mounds. Wow, that's pretty cool. You can just barely make that out. Hello, Darko. Welcome. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, we'll head out over the water here, and then we'll come back in over the harbor. Oh, absolutely, Mick. Yeah, I agree. That is a bit frustrating because it just, you know, it just doesn't go over very well, and then, you know, but I think you did have some good races though. You really did. But it wasn't like you could string together. Like, you had a really good race, and then it was like right after that they went after you again. Yeah, it was very odd, but there's Paul Winston. Oh, pretty cool. Remember that. All right. I am on Twitch. I'm on both. I stream from Twitch to here, Darko. Yeah, I am on Twitch. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to say I got 2 new followers over on Twitch a couple days ago, and I forgot to say thank you. So Crazy Croissant and Aviator A320 Master, thank you for the follows over on Twitch. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people compare it to American baseball, Mick, in that it's a bit slow. It's you know, it's a very look at that. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty cool. So it looks like some of these homes are right on the edge of that cliff, like they're gonna fall into the water there. Yeah, it's a very... Yeah, I do. I stream. I have to do it. That's the only way I can do it on the Xbox is Twitch to Aircast to YouTube. That's okay. Yeah. But I'd still like to go just to see the how it goes, you know, just to get a feel for it in person. Because, you know, when you watch it on TV or whatever, it just doesn't seem... I don't know what that's supposed to do. Huh. I don't know what that is. But it moves, whatever it is. Alright, so we're going to come in over... This says North Head, and then there's like Sydney Harbour, then there's like Watson Bay, Bottle and Glass Point. Huh, that's an interesting name. So this is like the northernmost point of Sydney. It looks like it's just a little bit farther out. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, so I'd like to go just to get a feel for it in person. Who knows if I'll ever get the chance. All right, so there's Sydney Harbour. Now, in the title screen, now that it's been updated, because Australia was the World Update focus recently. So this is one of the featured areas is Sydney Harbour. And so you have the very famous Opera House right there on the water, and then you have the nice bridge there. We're going to go over it here pretty soon. We're going to find, matter of fact, it should be right off the left wing tip, right about, it's right there. Yeah, it's a so we'll fly over that. We're gonna go just kind of cruise around the bay for a little while in the harbor, and just kind of take in the sights and just have a nice chilled morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah, this kind of settled down really nicely here. So we're at a really good altitude, I think, just to be able to see some of the cool stuff here in the Sydney Harbour area. I don't know what that is. Bottle of Glass Point. Huh. I don't know if that's like just a nickname or... Oh, it sounds like a place where everybody would go, commentators go silent when they go to an advert, but they can't. Yeah, you're right, Mick. It is a bit much, and so that's why I think a lot of people pay for the stream, because they can bypass the, welcome back, Joseph, the adverts. They just pay for advertising free. So they'll pay a little extra money just for that perk. Yeah, that was one of the things I think that people, it used to be that they would cut to a commercial back in, whether it was IndyCar or kart, because there was the Champ Car series, that was one of the things that most fans complained about is they'd go to commercial and then something would happen during the commercial and nobody would know what it was, and they have to show while we were in a commercial break, and so they'd have to rewind and everything, and so that's smart that they do it now where they do still broadcast, but you don't hear the announcers, you just hear the advert, but you can see the action on the track still, which does help out. Keeps you tuned into the race, and you're not missing anything. So, yeah. But I completely understand that. It's a bit much sometimes with all the adverts. But that's, look at the Super Bowl today still. There's going to be those some companies are going to spend millions of dollars just for a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl today. And the price has gone up, every year, because the time comes at a premium. And so they're if you want a minute or two, it's going to cost you. And it's outrageous now. I thought that said Shark Island. It's Clark Island. Huh. Oh, there's a Shark Island. Okay. Like, wait a minute. Why did it change names all of a sudden? All right, so there is, you can see the, what is this called right here? Woolloomooloo Bay. Wow. That's a mouthful right there. Okay. Garden Island. That doesn't... Well, I guess it's kind of an island. Looks pretty nice there. Port Jackson Bay. Here is the Sydney Opera House. Very famous. And then right there is the... I think it's the Centennial Bridge. Get it to pop up. Oop. Sydney Harbour Bridge. Okay. For some reason I thought it was nicknamed or named the Centennial Bridge, but I guess I was wrong. We won't insult any... we won't fly under the bridges today after yesterday's little fiasco. We'll just have a nice little flight. But we may have to come back here and give it a proper go. But see, it's really weird. Like right there, that shimmer, it's almost like there is a wall. Look at that. See that? Check that out. Right there. That's that. I think that's like that invisible wall, even though basically what it is a shadow, I think, based on the photo, when they took the photo, it's just a shadow, but it may treat it as a solid object. It was snowing here a little bit, just a little while ago, Milla, but nothing significant, but it's like it's trying, but it's not being successful just yet. But it's definitely cold enough for it. So yeah, that's why, see, like, it just feels like, or it looks like there's an invisible solid wall right there. Check that out. So yeah, we'll bypass that one for now and just have our little flying tour. We'll skip the bridge flying today. There are a couple bridges here that, I mean, this one I would have to come in from over the city and then drop down, but it doesn't look like there's much room there. This one might have a little bit of room. The Anzac Bridge. This one's not named. It's not really a bridge, it's just a roadway. It's a low roadway over the water there. Maybe it's a roadway. What else we got here? Queen Victoria Building. Hyde Park Barracks. Oh, wow. Never heard of that before. And Sydney Tower. So it looks like their TV tower. Interesting design. Almost does seem to have a bit of a German flavor to it. The TV towers that we see in Europe when we're on the trains there in Germany. Yeah, it's got to be like a radio and cell tower right there. I'd hate to have to go all the way up there to do any late night. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna watch it. I just can't be bothered. I don't really. Never been a fan of either team, and the way I look at it is there's really three teams on the field. You have the Rams and the Bengals, and then the third team is the refs. They got their own game to play, and I'm almost certain. I was thinking about this morning when I was laying in bed, that there's going to be at least 10 bad calls during the game today. One of those is going to be so bad it is going to decide the outcome of the game. And after the game's over, whoever the losing coach is going to rip the officials again. It's about par for the course in American football. It happens, and they all we got it wrong, but they can't change the result of the game. And they'll review it, and they'll we see where we made the mistake, but no, that's not how it's supposed to work, But there's going to be some really bad calls, because generally that's what happens, and then they're going to. It's going to be to the point that it's going to decide it's going to be a deciding factor in the game. And whichever team is going to play their heart out, and they're going to go home the losers because of bad officiating. That's the one thing I loathe about the NFL. They have just gone to crap when it comes to officiating. So that's team number 3. Don't forget to root for the refs, because they got their own game going on. Because they're under the watchful eye of the commissioner of the NFL. Don't forget, and they'll admonish the coach who calls out the bad officiating. They'll be like, you can't say that. You can't. That's just unreasonable for you to say those things about the officials. No, not when it costs you your entire season. You got there, but sometimes that's just not enough, So, yeah, I used to get up early Sunday mornings and watch the whole pregame show and everything. After a while, I'm like, why? It's not very, I'd be screaming at the TV. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? You know, that's not healthy. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I steer clear of it. I don't know. I'll still watch the ice pilots, I guess, today. Get see how they get on, and some really, I'll tell you, it's hard to tell when some of these, you know, reality shows, what is real and what was dramatized to make it more exciting entertainment. You know, it's very difficult to pick it out, and I don't know if any of it, all of it's real, or if some of it was just scripted to make the, you know, bit more drama and all that. But man, I don't know if I'd ever want to work for that company. It is just so, it's so, I guess in a way, and pardon me for saying this, but it's like it's bipolar. The boss, one minute he's all happy and everything, and he's giving everybody all these praises, and next minute it's like everybody's a dirtbag, and you know, it's just, yeah, really insane. So there's the bridge. There's a bridge there. But yeah, just if I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe you can see it over on Twitch a little bit better. But just look at that shadow, and it does appear like that's a like there's that invisible wall right there. But it just may be, you know, the altitude we're at and the angle, it just makes it seem that way. But I don't know. I could be wrong. That bridge looks kind of odd. Like the roadway itself looks really strange. I don't know if it's like a... Huh. That was weird. Let's go this way. But, you know, hopefully whoever watches it, they enjoy it. And whoever they're rooting for, hopefully their team wins. And, you know, because, you know, tomorrow you'll go to work and you'll be bragging about how your team won and destroyed the other team and yada, yada, yada. And everybody will be upset and some people will be happy. You know. Just steer clear of the boss, I guess, because if their team loses, you know, you're going to probably pay the price at work the next day. This is really... I didn't really get a good look at this area before the update, so I don't know how much it's been improved, but everybody, you know, like when I've been flying when Captain Arish's stream, especially the folks who've been flying over Australia, you know, or know the area really well, they said it's a massive improvement. It's not perfect. There's some stuff that they I guess, excuse me, kind of skipped over, but generally everybody's pretty impressed with the overall look of the update. So I will be flying with him on his stream tomorrow. No, Tuesday. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. For their, you know, the multiplayer flight. So I'll be joining him on Tuesday after. So it's going to be a big day of flying on Tuesday. We have Joe in the morning. I'm not sure where he's flying, what his chosen route is, but I told him I'll be there in the F-14, so we'll trying to figure out how I can fly near him so that I'm kind of in the screen. So I might just try to be a little bit above him and maybe to the left or right, so that I'm kind of in the, you know, but we'll see. Sydney. Oh, that's right. This is when a lot of this stuff was done when they I forgot Sydney hosted the Olympics. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. There's Stadium Australia. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. I thought that they had, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, it was the Summer Olympics. I can't even remember how long ago it was. We'll go over here and take a look at the Stadium Australia. Looks like that's it, right off the left wing tip, just underneath the left wing there. Wow, this thing looks huge. Looks like there's a couple of big parks and grounds here for practice, like practice facilities. That looks like a small soccer pitch. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's right. They did have a couple other smaller stadiums because they had so many matches they had to get through. Not all of them could be featured in the main stadium here. Look at that. Wow. That's impressive. I guess you could play European football, you could play rugby there maybe. All kinds of different sports, I guess. Doesn't look like it could be converted to a cricket field, but yeah, pretty cool. So, Mick, I'm just curious, is there a particular team tonight that you're rooting for, or are you just watching it just to watch it, just out of curiosity? Because, I mean, some people watch it, well, there's some people who watch it strictly for the commercials. Other people watch it for the actual, the game. There's a particular team they're rooting for, a particular player or whatever. So it's yeah, I was just curious if there was either one of the teams is somebody you're rooting for tonight, or you're just watching it just to see how it all goes. I'm going to be curious to see if my prediction is right about the number of bad calls, and then the one call that's going to ruin it for one of the teams. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's good. It's weird because they had, I remember growing up, the Rams, I don't remember if they always played in LA. I think they kind of bounced around at some point. Like, they weren't always in the same city. Like, they moved for a while. I think they went to, because St. Louis lost their football team, I think. They went to Arizona. And then the Rams went to St. Louis, I think, for a bit. And then they went back to LA. Yeah. There was a quarterback, and I can't remember his name. He was actually pretty good. I can't remember his name. I used to be big into football, especially, I grew up watching the Steelers were my favorite team. Terry Bradshaw, the Steel Curtain defense. Yeah, Mean Joe Green and Franco Harris and Lynn Swan, and yeah, really, those were like the really great days of football. You know, before it was all about gazillion-dollar contracts and shoe deals and all this other stuff. No, not at all, Milla. No, I gave up on football a long time ago. Nope. I used to be so into it, it was probably not healthy. Let's put it that way. It's just after a while, I'm like, what am I doing? Spending my time watching this stuff. It's not, but I have my favorite quarterback still. I always loved Joe Montana, Steve Young, and a lot of the Jerry Rice, Brett Favre, Dan Marino. There's like a lot of players I really enjoyed watching play, but the new NFL it's just not. I don't feel connected to it. And interestingly enough, we'll kind of switch subjects here. So I don't know if anybody's heard, and you can be forgiven if you don't know what I'm getting ready to talk about. IMSA, who has partnered with the ACO, so they have a hybrid car. So everybody has the same basically sort of cars and engine stuff and rules and everything, right? So that teams from America could be more compelled to go to race at Le Mans for the 24-hour race and all that. Well, IMSA, in their infinite glory, has decided to rename the prototype class GTP. Now, for those who watched racing in the late 80s and early 90s, the GTP class was the big deal. Because you had you had Nissan, you had Toyota, you had Porsche, you had who else? Mazda, I think. They had these prototypes racing, and it was called the GTP class. It was like the best era of racing. Now, IMSA has brought that back, and I get it. They want that connection, but it's a connection in name only. It's not. It doesn't give you that warm, fuzzy feeling of when you think about the GTP era of IMSA racing back in the late 80s and early 90s. It's just not. But they're, I get it. They're trying to get people excited, but it's just kind of like they're trying to bring the old fans back in a way, but I don't think it's going to work. Because I think they've ruined so much. They've driven out all the teams from the American Le Mans series when Rolex and American Le Mans series merged. They basically ran everybody out. And now they've got their control over everything. Corvette has to step down into the Grand Touring Daytona class because nobody was racing in GTLM anymore in America. All those programs have basically gone away. Yeah, they. But yeah, I saw that, but I don't feel like the NFL today is the NFL I grew up watching. Before these gazillion, like I said, all the big contracts and all these things, it was just tough football. It was, hard hitting. Yeah, there might have been some hits that were, in retrospect, probably very dangerous. Could have, caused somebody their life or whatever. But, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I don't really feel compelled to watch it anymore. But hey, if people enjoy it, more power to them. That's their thing, and so. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and call in for our landing here at the big airport. See what kind of runway they give us.
Sydney Tower Froggy 237 is
Okay, so I gotta look at the,
High left traffic, runway 34 right. Big left downwind, runway 34 right, Frogby 237.
there we go. He's at 3-4 rights. Just want to have a look at the There is so much stuff on this airport that it's hard to. There's parking. Report. 3-4 rights. Okay, so that's a short runway. It's like one of their shortest, but we'll head over that way. We'll make our way and have a look, and then we'll put it on the ground here. I had to get a overhead. Yeah, my mom was a huge. Oh, the Bears were. Oh, when Jim McMahon and that whole team. Oh, that it was like that's all we talked about in the house during that season was the Bears and yeah. And a lot of people say that that's probably the greatest NFL team ever. Now, some people would say they can make some arguments that maybe it is, but you know, but yeah, my mom is just huge Bears fan. So let me get an idea of where we're coming in at here. I'm going to pull up the airport layout so we can kind of get a sense of where things are. That looks like 3-4 right is right there in front of us. Let's go have a look at that. Because if that's the pattern entry and we're flying downwind, and we would come in around and then come in and land right there. So we're going to just verify that that is in fact the case. Oh boy, I got a little bit of a bloody nose, unfortunately. I'm going to mute myself while I deal with this, and we'll get ready to land. We're just going to let this fly for just a little bit. Unfortunately, during the winter, because there's this cold, dry air, my nose gets all kinds. It gets dry, and I get a bloody nose very easily in the winter. Alright, I verified the run. So I've looked at I'm kind of verifying the chart, you know, the layout of the airport compared to what I'm seeing. The runway is just off to it's right there. So we're going to just kind of come back around here and we'll put it on the ground. So I do apologize. I'm trying to get this under control as best as I can. Wow. I feel like I'm one of those boxers that could just jam some of that Perlex up there in my nostril and maybe it would stop it. I'm just going to keep some tissue here nearby. All right.
Clear to land runway 3, 4 right. Clear to land runway 3, 4 right, Froggy, 237.
It's one thing I don't like about winter. Besides the cold, when it's that cold, dry air, it really dries my nasal passages up, and then it tends to bleed very easily. Ugh. All right, there it is. All right. I think I got it under control now. Whew. Medical emergency. We need to land expeditiously and forthwith. Have the ambulance standing by on the runway. Pilot has a bloody nose. It's a good thing I don't pass out at the sight of blood, huh? Boy, that would end the stream very, very poorly. Even though it seemed like the plane was kind of doing well on its own, and we were fairly stable and all that. Yeah. All right, there we are. Well, there's our excitement for today.
Foggy, 237 exit, runway with able.
Well, there we are. Not the smoothest landing, but we're on the ground. Oh, well, hopefully everybody's enjoyed that little sightseeing tour of Sydney Harbour. If you did, please leave a thumbs up on your way out. We will be back tomorrow in the same plane, different color scheme, of course, for our Valentine's Day flight. It's not going to be all about love and all that. We're going to talk about the history of Valentine's Day. Lots of interesting information, so do tune in for that. Hello, J Bob 87. Welcome to the stream. Got here just in time. We're getting ready to wrap things up here. You're doing well.
Foggy 237, turn next taxiway.
Yeah, I'm turning. I'm getting there.
Foggy 237, contact ground on 121.7. 121.7, Frothy 237.
Alright, let's talk to 121.7. I don't see. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, now we got different figures. Alright, is there like a marker for our parking? Oh, okay. Well, I think what we'll do is we're just going to go over here. Ah, thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Amela. Appreciate that. So, if I look at the... Oh, yeah, the voices, Amela. Yeah. Oop. Right, now I started a sneezing fit. Ugh. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to taxi on over to the airport. This is a very large airport. Like, almost, to me, it almost seems like it's larger than San Francisco International. It might rival it in size. I don't know, but it's insane. Oh boy, I have a feeling this is going to start the bloody nose again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to steer over here. The main airport is right there. We're just going to follow this along here, and then we'll park it and call it a day. Find a place to park it. Yeah, I changed the voice, Amila. You could change the co-pilot voice, so I was like, oh, let's try something a little different. I suspect that there's got to be a general aviation area here at this airport, but it's probably it's kind of probably tucked away somewhere. We'll just find a spot and call it a day. At least we'll get a nice view of the Sydney airport, the big airport. So yeah, do join us tomorrow for the Valentine's Day special. And then Tuesday I will be with Joe in the multiplayer I'll be streaming that as well, and then we'll talk about Wednesday after Tuesday, or during Tuesday. So I almost feel like pulling in front of this building and just shutting it down. Not sure what that place is supposed to be. Oops. That's an interesting looking... I don't know if that's a tower or what is that? It's like almost like this crazy looking slide or something. Maybe some kind of a radar tower, maybe? A radio tower? Those are the big planes over there. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a spot over here and just pull it up to a spot, and then we'll wrap this up. We're not going to go to the gate, obviously. Oh, it looks like we went over like this. Yeah. Huh. Okay. We'll just pull it into the cargo area here. We'll shut it down. $747 there. Yeah, actually, you could change the look of your co-pilot, the voice. There's like a bunch of different options of how you want your pilot and co-pilot to look. So, yeah, just figured I'd do something a little different. And because the voice is different from my pilot voice in the sim, then I can pay attention to it. I know when something's getting ready to happen. So, all right, let's just pull it right here. Not the most appropriate place for us to park, but that's okay. It seemed like the ground, like the what do you call it? The frequencies might have changed after when they updated this. So it seems like there's some conflicting information, or because we're such a small plane, they were probably like, yeah, it should be here. So. Battery. We had you. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty big airport, Joseph, for sure. But anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I do apologize about the slight medical emergency with the bloody nose, but it's back under control now, hopefully. And yeah, so hopefully everybody enjoyed the flight, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Morning, afternoon, evening, early Monday, wherever you are in the world. And I will be back tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK, Valentine's Day special flight. So until then, peace, live long and prosper.